All right, I did not see Howard. All right. Good morning,
Tony.
welcome. It is Thursday, July 23rd, 10 a.m. This is the board meeting at Parliament Towers condominium via Zoom. Everybody has been invited. I'm going to start off with a roll call, please.
Lorraine Fidelson is here.
Andrew's here.
Bill Vancheri here.
Stuart Siegel is here. Howard Mentor, I don't believe is on yet. He will be joining us, he said. And I know that Patrick O'Connor's already called in saying that he will not be able to attend. So we have four members, and Richard, of course, is out of the country, so he won't be attending today. But we do have 4 members here, so therefore it is a majority and it is a legal board meeting. All right. Proof of notice of board. This is to send out on email to all residents on email. It has been posted on the door and on the window of the office. It has been put on the monitors in the lobby area by the elevators. So proof of notice has been established. I'd like to propose waiving the reading of the previous minutes. Can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
If there's no objections, okay, it's carried. We're going to waive the reading of the minutes. Old business. Let's start off with pipelining project. We heard back from the old company asking us if we've made any new decisions on this, and we sort of like sidestepped them and told them that we have a lot of projects going on and we're using the money for different things. But at the same time, the RPS, we sent the contract over to our lawyers who are looking it over, and they're going to make any necessary changes and they will send it back to us. And I know that we're going to have to stay on them because they tend to take a long time in responding back to us with our contracts. And we'd like to get this work started. So if Ms. Cardozo comes back to the meeting, we will get her to, or Randy, since you're there, would you just make sure that Ms. Cardozo gets back in touch with our lawyers and find out where our contract is? Thank you. Oh, here she is. Lean on the lawyers on the contract for the pipelining because we'd like to get started with that.
Okay, yep.
Thank you. All right, item B, front desk expansion project. As everybody who is in the building has currently seen, the demolition work has been done on the front desk. We have established a new temporary front desk area right outside the library. We have moved our wiring over so she has the view of all the cameras. She has a telephone there. She has a buzzer to allow people to enter into the lobby area. So it's just like she's in her old spot, but just in a new temporary area. Jimenez has been here. He had a meeting with Richard Marlowe and myself, and we went over the blueprints, and they have started the work. They put up the beams for the new wall that's going up for the packages. And we discussed different products, the counters and the flooring, and he should be ready to go starting next week with installation of our new materials. Oh, thank you. All right, does anybody have any questions about either one of those 2 items, first of all? I'm sorry, I didn't ask about pipelining or this.
Are we going to get a bit of air conditioning into that new office area?
The front desk area takes its air conditioning from the library. There is I'd say a 12-inch, it's a flexible hose, sort of like what you would put on a dryer, but larger.
Okay.
That carries the air over from the library into that room, and at times it is actually freezing in there. So they do have an adequate flow.
Is that fan, that little fan, going to be
Gone.
It's gone.
It didn't work. It didn't work for a couple of years already. We had to have EWI came in this week to disconnect the power. And once they disconnected the power, they were able to take that fan down.
Okay.
I have a question since we just had lightning. The power outage that, well, 2 or 3 of them that we had yesterday, does that have anything to do with the building, or is it the whole
It was,
city
it was the whole area.
There's a whole, everything around.
area?
Now,
Okay.
they are, from what I saw on A1A, they're putting wiring underground.
Correct.
Mhm.
And that possibly could be causing part of this, as they're installing it. So I don't know. I just want to let the board know that Howard Mencher now has joined our meeting. Hi, Howard.
Oh, okay.
May I unmute you?
Hello.
Hi, Howard.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Howard.
So the electrical is not us, it's them.
Okay, I was just thinking that, we may have our meeting interrupted with another one of those. Whatever.
Hopefully we won't get it again, but
Yeah.
my son is over in Oakland Park, and he had the same issue there too.
Oh, okay.
All right. Is Jeffrey Marshall going to connect with us here? Oh, I got Mr. Bromley here, so we're going to jump over to that.
Hey, Bruce.
Hello, how's everybody?
You're good.
Good. Stuart,
Mr. Bromley,
how are you?
good. How are you?
Very good.
All right, we're going to jump over to item B on here, on the new business. Discuss and approve Bromley's sound actuation recommendations. We'll start with that.
Yeah.
Okay. For the residents, on the 19th floor, if you go over to the south side, there's a very loud hum that goes in the hallways into some of the units. And we invited Mr. Bromley, who is our engineer, to come take a look and try and determine where is this sound coming from and how can we correct it. So Bonnie, myself, Mr. Bromley, Andrew may have been there for it. We all went up to the roof and we tried 2 different things. We tried the chiller. Am I correct?
Right, you tried to see where the noise is coming from, the chiller. We shut off.
We shut off the chiller and the noise was still there. We turned the chiller back on. I think we sent out an email to everybody that it was going to be off for a couple of minutes a few weeks ago.
Then we shut off the cooling tower.
And then we shut off the water pump on the roof, and that stopped the noise. So we now know that the noise is coming from the cooling water tower pump. Bruce, what is your recommendation to correct this?
Well, I'm not sure if the actual problem is it's starting to lose a bearing, but we're going to have to bring somebody that maintains that pump and help diagnose it from the start, because they might have some better diagnostic tools, because I would hate to be in the dead of summer and say we're going to lose the pump for a week or so. So that we're going to have to work with the actual, either the plumbing company, the manufacturing company, or something along those lines, so that they can come out and actually diagnose it. And if they're going to actually do a pump like temporary put in place until they actually fix this pump, maybe they can talk about putting some Teflon isolator washers or things along those lines for the connection bolting as you work your way down to the manifold area below the pump.
Yeah, because when we looked at it, the pump itself was adhering directly onto the metal.
Correct.
With nothing in between to absorb the vibration.
Correct.
Spring mounts have been bypassed in effect.
Right, and the spring mounts actually had steel beams on each side of it, supporting it and not allowing the springs to actually do the job of absorbing the vibrations and the sounds from there.
Correct.
It seems to me we just need to replace all the spring mounts to start with.
So is it an internal or an external problem?
External.
But Bruce is talking about having an internal possible
Well,
problem.
If it's the bearing.
No, I disagree with Bruce there. Because
Okay.
we certainly see there's a problem with the spring mounts.
Uh-huh.
Let's get them back the way they used to be 20 years ago.
Right. Now, would we have to shut off that pump to do this, Andrew? Or are we gonna have to disconnect it from the pipes?
I think we can put some blocking in there and move it up a 1/16 of an inch, just so we can slide the spring mount out and slide a new one in. I don't think we need to do anything, but I want the contractor that's responsible for doing it to say he's willing to work on it running. But I don't think it's a big deal.
This is the same one that we had taken to be repaired and brought back, correct? Because Gabriel's mentioned that it still had some.
We can't hear a thing, Fanny.
She's saying that this is the one that we sent out to be rebuilt.
And it still had, Gabriel mentioned that it still had some noise. Well, the noise wasn't altogether gone that it was making from the inside.
So do we call in the company that rebuilt it, or do we call in the manufacturer of the pump?
I'm-
Bruce, Andrew, either one.
Yeah, that would be my first choice. Anybody that has worked on that pump is going to have a better feel for the actual mounting or any kind of repairs. And where did Andrew go? He disappeared?
He's there. He's on the bottom.
Okay. Oh, there he is. So I would believe that if you look at some of the back photos of my report, you can see that as you get down to there's a concrete base in the photograph of that report. And if we can actually put what Andrew's talking about, some type of isolator washers or items along those lines, because the way I heard the report has come to me was that people on that penthouse floor just began to notice and complain about it.
Is that the picture?
Yes, that's the picture, Stuart. So if that bracket there has no isolator between that concrete slab, and there's bolts that are attached in shear, and then there's bolts coming down on that tube bracket. So, I mean, is there a possibility to put something in there to isolate that? I would say that that's what Andrew is in agreement with.
All right. See if you can get in touch with the company that rebuilt it, and have them come here, take a look, and give us recommendations.
Okay. You also mentioned the manufacturer. So should we go to the repair company first, and if that doesn't work, then go to the manufacturer for?
Yes. Yeah, because the repair company usually deals with the manufacturer. So
Okay.
typically.
Okay. Bruce, this brings us to, any questions on this from the board or any owners?
So are we, just to review, are we going to the manufacturer or the repair company?
We're going to the repair company because the repair company usually deals with the manufacturer.
Okay, do you know what the name is of the repair company?
Oh, I can look it up. I'll look it up right now.
We'll have to get it for you. All right,
Okay.
Brian?
Okay, thank you.
We don't use them often, so every now and then when we need them.
Okay. They're local.
Yeah.
Okay,
Bruce, we have water coming in our stairwells on virtually every rainstorm we're having here this season.
David came by there and looked at 11, 10, 9, and 8.
Mhm.
Now, we put a brand new stucco face on the east wall, and there was not much damage. And where they did the repairs on the north and south of that, we'll call it a bump out where the stair
Right.
tower is,
Right.
yeah.
there wasn't a lot of damage. And then we ran a bead of caulk in that each of those corners, the north corner and the south corner. So